Hi, Paul Hefty here with the Triangle O football system. I want to go over some new RPO teaching and drills for you that you can use. A couple key notes here. New research shows right now your best practice method is to use what's called a games approach, meaning 80% of the teaching and the drills you're doing need to be what we call tactile skill development, where they have to make reads constantly, especially key in RPO system. And then 20% can still be technical skills, meaning old school fundamentals, just getting the reps. So you'll see here, we'll go through a start and then phases 1 through 6 that we can use with all the different parts of no huddle spread RPO system. Let's take a look. All right, first let's look at the start and the teaching phases we use. You can see this is a Penn State football practice plan from 2017. And Coach Joe Moorhead was good enough to give this to me and give us some insight of how to build these teaching methods with an RPO system. One thing we'll use is we'll always use our start with our stretch and then a screen game, we call it, and then phases 1 and 2. Those 3 things we like to do every day, and then 3, 4, 5, and 6 are things you can use as you're installing different parts of your offense. All right, with the start practice, we're going to start with the stretch and then go into a screen and score drill. So we're going to go 10 total minutes. We like to use an active stretch, so it's going to take us about 6 minutes to get that done, and then we're going to transition very quickly right into this screen and score drill, starting out going from for a 2-point play here. You can see the setup is you're going to have your first group offense out on the ball. Coaches then are the defenders, so you can coach kind of on the run, but you can also change the reads and the looks for those players. You can see the OCs in the back giving the signal. You're going to go ahead and signal a play, run it. You'll run that screen. The whole group is going to go through the back end line and then around the outside. As soon as that first group gets done and scores, then the second group is going to do exactly the same play. The OC will signal at those, so they got to go through the whole signals of processing and communicating, and they're off and run through. And then if you have a third group, they would go ahead and do the same thing. What you can do here then is just get continuous reps left and right, usually no more than 2 screens, but it's really kind of your focus for the week. And you can also do this then, we've done it at the college level, I've done it for conditioning and get it knocked out right at the beginning. Great start sequence, 10 minutes. And again, by you as coaches moving around, this is an example of that tactile skill development or teaching where they've got to make decisions still. All right, phase 1A then. We're going to have 3 phases here of phase 1. 1A, we're just going to go 1 minute right after that screen and score. And we're going to back up to the 20-yard line and go ahead and run 1 play all the way through the goal line and score here with each group. So we're just going to do 1 play, but it's their focus play for the day. The idea here is they should be a little bit tired after the screen and score. Can we focus on one more time, red zone, get the score and the focus play of that day? Again, all groups would go through. Again, the idea here is to run a perfect play. Everyone execute at a high level. 1 minute. All right, phase 1B then, we're going to have a 1 minute transition, so you'll catch your breath. But now we're going to go individual fundamentals. And this is something I got from Derek Leonard from Rochester, Illinois High School, where he's won 8 state championships, doing some really creative spread offensive schemes. He has, since you're shotgun snapping almost every play, he has all his offensive linemen practice snapping the ball for 2 minutes to start practice. So you can see what we're going to do here for these 2-minute session is there we've got your tackles all in a group of 3, and then your centers working together and your guards working together. One will be the quarterback, one's going to snap, and then one's the defender. With the centers, now you've got your quarterbacks actually going. So we're going to have one quarterback, one there. Let's call out the whole sequence so your linemen don't have to do that. But again, the idea here is everybody's going to practice snapping for 2 minutes every day, just so you've got that security blanket going into every game. At the same time, then your H-backs will just get paired up, and they're going to just work and fit and drive for 5, what I call for 5 yards. So for 2 minutes, just great technical skill work now. No reads, just working on first steps, fit, drive, and your O-linemen all working on snaps. While that is going on, then your backs and receivers can work together or independent, but we like to work on for 2 minutes, ball security, blocking, catching mechanics, simple fundamentals every day to get started with individuals. So we'll go 2 minutes then, and then again, another minute transition. Phase C then, you just got 4 minutes here, but this is great. You'll finish up your fundamental work. Now going into your position groups, this is classic, but I like to do this every day still. So we've taken up only a total of 10 minutes with fundamentals, but we're doing a lot of different things. You can see here to the left, the backfield now is just going to do play strip. So there's no reads, but we're going to go ahead and do steps and timing. You can add it where the coach does do an RPO read for the quarterback. If he puts his hands up, like he wants to catch the ball, then the quarterback's going to pull it. That's a pull, read, and throw. If he doesn't, he's going to give it what you want to give almost 90% of the time. In the middle then, our receivers, I like to go do what's called a 3 S's, where we just work on stance, our team takeoffs, our starts, and then working on our stock block, and we use what's called a cruiser technique there. And then our offensive linemen, they're doing their steps in fit, drive for 5 that the H-backs were doing. With your H-backs, you just have them rotate from day to day. One day they're going to be with the linemen, one day they're going to be with the receivers. Or you can decide where they need the most work from day to day. Great technical skill, 4 minutes, and now we've done 10 total minutes of great fundamental technical work. All right, real quick here then, these slides just show the steps. So you make sure, again, attention to detail is key here. But this is our inside zone RPO steps, where we're going to go ahead and ride him, pivot and ride and slide down in with the quarterback. When we go to a rocker off of our split zone, where we're going to go second level read, now he's going to go to our rocker technique, where we're just going to rock forward and back, keeping our shoulders square. Here then is the steps and footwork for a technique for inside gap RPO. Again, running backs are going to go 3-step, get those toes pointed forward and upfield, and the quarterback will use his rocker technique as we're reading the SAM, or a second level defender. Here then is stretch zone. Anytime we're going outside run, whether it's stretch or sweep, now the quarterback's going to do a shuffle and pivot to pass. You can see the running back now is going to point those toes to the sideline and really stretch it until that 7th step, and then he'll turn his toes right at the H-back, reading him in or out. All right, phase 2. Again, this is the last one I would do every day after our technical fundamentals for 5 minutes at least. Even if you're not a big zone team, it's just a great way to drill it, and eventually you will be a good split zone team, is my argument, if you do this every day. You can see here on the left, we're going to do what we call drill 35, where we got 3 quarterbacks going and then 5 different backs and receivers going. With quarterback 1 in the bottom left, he's going to go ahead and, as if he had free access to the X, and just work the speed out or the go route. The back then is going to come through. Again, there's no mesh fake, but he has to step through, identify that, stay in front of the quarterback, and then he's going to go block that other running back coming in. That other running back, this is real important, he wants to try to get into the face of the quarterback a little bit and just distract him, so that quarterback has to work on escapes or keeping his eyes downfield with a live rush. Quarterback 2 now is going to be doing our post-snap run read option that we do off our slice. You can see the coach will be that defensive end giving him a read there. And then the back coming through, if it's a give, is reading that nose guard or down lineman closest to the center for his running lanes. Then the quarterback 3, again, he's got free access to throw the bubble. He's throwing that. You can see the Z is paired up, so he's got to stock block the other Z. Once he gets done stalking, he goes to defense and he's out. You rotate. With the A's, the other one plays that linebacker where he's inside of the A and then chases him, and so that A has to have a realistic run off the bubble and get past him. While that's going on, then your offensive line just works split zone scheme. The H-backs, again, since they're not involved in the pass part of this, they are going with the linemen and working on their split block. I like to have the coach play the quarterback here so he can go ahead and move and point the defense around. He simply calls the cadence and coaches from that standpoint. We just call this Zone Drill 35. Go 5 minutes every day, and again, you will be good at all parts of the basics to RPOs in the spread system. All right, now that we've gone through the start and phases 1 and 2 that we want to do every day, phases 3, 4, 5, and 6, again, you can pick and use one or several that you're working on emphasis that day. Phase 3 here is an alert drill. Remember, if we want to turn our RPOs into a PRO, meaning think pass first, run second, we simply give the alert signal to the quarterback, and now we're just reversing our thinking. So here we are running stretch left with an RPO, and we turn it into an alert. So we're thinking pass first, quarterback 1, still going to have the mesh with the back, and the coach now is that Mike Reed will give him the cue. You can see 90% of the time he's going to give a hard fill, so it's going to be a pull read and throw the hot over to the A. But every now and then he'll give it, and the X's then are getting to work now on their bongo or stalk block there. Quarterback 2 then is responsible for the same read, but he has to go ahead and he has to throw every time to the glance on the backside. The key here is we want both quarterbacks' eyes on the mic or their read key, and then they're both throwing to a different receiver. Same time then over on the right, you've got your O-line now with another quarterback and the back actually run an inside hole working on sweep here. So it could be stretch, it could be sweep, whatever technique is your focus or your core. And again, the coach now, since there is a quarterback, is going to coach from the defensive side. So he is actually going to be the receiver, so that if he would get a throw read, pull read and throw, he'll throw that to the coach, and he can locate where those receivers would be. We can do phase 3 where we do what's called a north drill, and remember, north is our cue word for run action pass. Now he's going to be pass all the way, but we're still going to use our run action blocking. So here we go. We're running our pop peek pass. You can see here 2 quarterbacks going again with, now the H's are over here when we go north drill because they are involved in the pass routes. You can see quarterback 1 is going to go ahead and say he's got free access there and go 1, 2 inside out, H to X. Quarterback 2 would say he's got free access on his side, and he's going 1, 2 reading A to Z. The line then again is doing inside hole just like we did before. The example given here now is we're running power. And again, you still can have the coach be that receiver if it is a pull and throw read. Phase 4, these are movement type of play actions, that passes that we do. So we just call this a movement drill 25 again. 2 quarterbacks, 5 receivers going. H's are with the skill people here because they're involved in our waggles, our boots, and our sprint outs. So again, what we do with our waggles is it's a dash concept. So quarterback 1 is going to pretend he's faking his lateral shuffles that we showed, reading the mic, but he has to go ahead and go to phase 2 and read the corner, which is the coach there, the cat to the upper left, and he's going to go high-low with that read. Now, real important, you have a coach or you have another H-back play this rush end so that the quarterback has to work on waggles and on movement-type play-action passes to climb the pocket and get underneath and not get in a bad habit of trying to overrun over top. Quarterback 2 now is going to go ahead and do his shuffle, and he is going to go and throw the hot read to the A or the Z in the first phase of the dashes. But then after he gets done, he can go ahead, if he doesn't get a pull read, he's going to go ahead and go into his rollout, but now his eyes would go to the cat, but then he's going to come back, and these are classic climb the pocket, escape, and find that A and Z coming across the field on loose play scramble drills. We just call that get north and south. While this is going on, the O-line now again is doing now their movement protections. So we would do our waggles here. The other thing we can do with these is we like to finish always with at least one sprint out, core sprint out pass play. And you can be doing the same thing with the skill people and with your blocking with the O-line. Finish with sprint out. Phase 5 is straight drill 25. This means we're doing pocket. We like to start with our 4 verts play action passes, kind of that whole series that we like to do is a big part of the offense. So again, 2 quarterbacks, 5 receivers. Big thing there is quarterback 1 is going to read the goat just like quarterback 2, but he has to throw to that boundary X every time. So we work hard on back shoulder fades, or if he's beat, go ahead and take it over top. Quarterback 2 has to stay with the 3, so he's going his inside out, and now he's going to the Z as if he's the boundary receiver there, working back shoulder fade to take off over top. Again, O-line now with the next to running back is going to work on your pocket half slide protection, and the coach then goes to the quarterback again to coach from that side and run the cadence and everything. Phase 5 is drill 25 here, but now we're going to go ahead and do our West Coast passes, and again, doing our pocket pass protection. Same thing, quarterback 1 in the bottom left now is assuming he's got free access, so he's going to go with the example here, inside out, H to X. Quarterback 2 would have the delta or triangle read where he's going A to Z to B here. Nice triangle read progression. O-line again with back, and coach at quarterback is working your pocket pass protections against the looks and the blitzes you're going to see. Neat thing you can do here is you can do a short bit of this drill 25, and then you can go into a longer period of classic pass skeleton then too. Phase 5 again, drill 25, you can focus on now just doing vertical crossers, so same drill sequence, and or progress into pass skelly. Phase 6 then is the last bit, and that's your classic team period. We call this drill 22 because you got 11 on 11. And then you can see here the key point we're trying to emphasize though is coaches need to practice doing no huddle and communication from the sideline like a game. So you can see you've got your OC, and if you've got more than one signal caller, they need to coach from the sideline. The other coaches, offense and defense, can be messing around. But again, what's great here is you want to go 5-minute periods and then do mini game plans and mini field situations here. So you practice in field situation along with game plans. A good example is these are mostly going to be third downs, different situations, and we just go work up and down the field with this. Another thing you can do here early in practice, I like to do, we used to do this in college a ton, is we do what's called good versus good, where we'll just go out and put our 1s versus our 1s and our 2s versus our 2s and just compete for a little bit with a thud tempo. Fun way to get competition, get things going, and work on so people can work playing fast.